There's gotta be something we can do.
He's too far gone, even for Stasis Lock. Well fought, my friend. You saved the valley. You saved the lives of those who live here, and of those who are still to come.
Then, there is nothing to regret. Like I said, you're just a blasted slag-spouting saurian, but it's nice to know where you stand. Upwind of you for preference, vermin. Tell my tale to those who ask. Tell it truly, the ill deeds, along with the good, and let me be judged accordingly. The rest is silence.
Good evening, and welcome back to Too Much Energon, the weekly podcast where we review every episode of Beast Wars ever in production order, starting from the beginning. I'm one of your hosts, Christopher Siege.
I am your other host, NeoCal.
And this week on Too Much Energon, we are reviewing the 9th episode of Season 2 of Beast Wars, Code of Hero. It is a episode that needs no introduction, as being widely regarded as one of the greatest episodes of, well, Transformers media in general. And because this is such a important episode, we actually have a couple of guests on the podcast this week. Our first guest is from Dorktales, Kelly Clark.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. And we also have, making her triumphant return to Too Much Energon from the Stasis Lock Podcast, Candice Santora.
Woo! Hey guys, thanks for having me back. I can't believe you fell for it.
I tricked them long enough to invite me back.
Don't be modest. You're doing us a favor here, and we really appreciate it.
Kelly, this is Candice. Candice, this is Kelly.
Hey, Candice, how's it going?
Great. How are you?
You know what? I'm really excited. I have only been able to sucker them into letting me on once now, so I'm gonna have to learn some tricks from you.
Oh, come on, guys.
If it makes you feel any better, Kelly, you were the first person I asked.
I know, but you wanted to save me for this one, and I'm really honored because I haven't seen this episode in like 20 years. I used to watch this every morning before school, and like I was watching this, and it just flooded back.
Oh, were you in the U.S. at the time?
Oh hell yeah, man. I'm American.
Oh,
right.
I always forget that
I moved up to Canada for school, and I didn't.
When you were an adult, right? Or a little bit older, yeah. Well, Candice,
I'm never an adult.
You have a fellow, Candice. You have a fellow American on the show now.
I don't feel so lonely.
I know, right? Where are you from?
I still do. Pennsylvania.
Oh, hey, I grew up in Pennsylvania for a little bit before moving to Missouri. Yeah, South Fayette, over by Pittsburgh.
Oh, nice. I'm on the other side.
Oh, you're over by Philly? We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about
that. Well, the reason I brought that up is because you were like, I watched it in the morning, and I was like, hold up. I swear that's when Candice used to watch it, and it was not on in the morning where I was from.
It was on at like 6:30 in the morning or something like that.
What?
6:30 or 7.
It was,
and then like the bus was at 7:15 or 7:30 or something like that. It was awful.
Holy cow.
Dude.
This is the only thing that got me up in the morning. That's
right?
Cool. Beast Wars.
That and like occasionally some Bobby's World if I woke up early, you know? That was
oh my gosh, Bobby's World.
Yeah, that's the next podcast they're gonna do.
Kelly co-host Bobby's World?
No. You can probably get Howie Mandel though. He's not doing anything right now.
Ooh.
I'm sure he's doing some kind of reality show that no one watches.
Oh.
Well, while we're taking shots at him, and no.
This is how you get Howie Mandel on your podcast right now.
Fucking just rip him apart.
We just gotta piss him off enough that he is like, all right, I'm gonna give those fuckers the old what for.
That's kind of what his personality's like. He kind of does shit like that, yeah.
Crazy.
So before we jump into the actual episode, I have a confession to make.
Uh-oh.
I have not seen this episode until a couple days ago.
Oof.
Oh, wow.
I missed this when I was a kid. Like, I didn't catch every episode.
So were you confused in
right.
the next season?
Yes. And and as such, I barely caught the next season. Right?
Where's
Because I missed one
Dinobot?
episode, I missed 2, I missed 3, and then I barely saw season 3.
What time was it on in Canada? Was it afternoons or?
Evenings. It was Beasties, as it was known
Oh
here.
yeah, I saw that on Wiki today, and I was like, "What the hell, Beasties?"
Yeah,
Kelly, did you know it was Beasties here?
No, that sounds like like a special back room at a furry convention.
It doesn't sound great nowadays. In the 90s, it was innocent and pure.
It was when I was 11 and hearing the like Beast Wars like intro announcer guy being all like Beasties. It was pretty dope at
It was
the time.
badass. Yeah.
But no, Beasties was on YTV 4 nights a week at 7 p.m. It was on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, I think. It was on at 7 p.m. and then Reboot was on at 7:30.
Yeah, I was one of those kids that like rode bikes and threw pine cones at other kids, so I don't have any good reason for missing it.
Well,
Truly.
Man, that would have collided with my dad was obsessed with Seinfeld, so I'm kind of glad Beast Wars was on in the mornings here because that was kids' TV time. We got to watch what we wanted to watch on TV, but later on night, nope, that was Dad's turn. So
No, it turned into like, what's the deal with Energon?
Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. What do they want?
fantastic.
And now Dinobot's a maximal now? Oh,
Make up your mind!
Make up your mind!
Okay.
Why does Energon make them short out anyway?
God.
I thought they needed Energon for power. Am I right?
It's so
Oh, man,
confusing.
Kelly would love us how we complain about the Energon like contradictions on this show.
It's all flawless. It's flawless. They know exactly what they're doing.
flawless
They're not making up on the fly at all.
Every episode 10 out of 10.
The animation's an 11 out of 10.
Speaking of making things on the fly, Kelly, this is your first time on Too Much Energon. Like I already said, before we do this, before we get in the episode, I want to quickly mention that you are accustomed to making things on the fly, yes?
It is true. I am a professional bullshitter, also known as a professional dungeon master or games master on my channel Dorktales, where we do improvisational role playing and things like that. Like we're kind of a big deal, kind of like those critical.
What are they called? Critical Rally?
Critical Rally, something like that. I don't know. And like the Adventure Dome, I forget the other guys, but like we're kind of up there. We're big.
Critical Trolls.
Critical Trolls. That's what it is.
Yeah. Wait a second.
$20. That's probably a Reddit subthread.
Wait a cycle.
That's
I'm writing that down because I'm going to
Can you write that down?
Critical Trolls. It's done. Yes, Mr. NeoCal. I've got it down right here. What you could do one called Critical Roll.
Hey, if you want me to do a branch off when you're not running a certain game and it's called Critical Troll,
Critical
I can run that.
Roll. All right. But yeah, no. So making stuff up on the fly is basically the job of an improvisational storyteller, which is the fancy way of saying dungeon master, which is the fun way of saying professional bullshitter.
Yeah.
Nerd.
And you built it up. Well, you built it up yourself, and I actually think you've done pretty well for yourself.
We're doing okay.
That's rad, man.
We're getting bigger, and we're actually doing a bunch of charity work recently, and we're doing one for WAVA, which is it's Vancouver Sexual Assault Relief Center. So we're trying to raise about $1,000 for them this weekend. So if you guys are available, come by, check it out. It's going to be fun. We're running like a Dungeon World game where everybody's an animal. and
Oh.
and it's an Indiana Jones thing, but everybody's like I'm not running it. My friend Bunny Hearted is, but it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. It's for a really good cause.
Is it fair to say that these animals are in beast mode?
Oh, they're beasties, all right.
Excellent. Kelly, if you're unaware of Candice's work and you're familiar with beasties, let me tell you, she has an Instagram full of art of the beast variety.
Ooh,
It's silly. It's silly. It's whimsical.
It's whimsical and amazing.
Where can I find you on Instagram?
I believe it's at candice little period and a little dot Santora. Something
Okay.
like
Santora.
that. Yeah, I should know, right?
And I'll put links to all of your guys' stuff in the show notes for the episode.
You just got yourself a follower. Bing.
Boom. So animals. There's some new animals in this episode. Kind of monkeyish.
Yeah, real quick, this episode originally aired on March 9th, 1998, and this episode was directed by Bob Forward, who is one of the two showrunners, and was written by Ian Weir. This is the third and final episode that was written by Ian Weir. Ian Weir also wrote season 1 episode's Dark Design, which is the evil Rhinox episode. Which is one of the best episodes of season 1, in my opinion. And he also wrote Possession, the Starscream episode, which is also one of the best episodes.
Yeah.
Another one of the best episodes of season 1. So this Ian Weir guy, like, he's 3 for 3.
Did you find out why this was still his last one? Like, was he
No.
doing other stuff, or?
No, I looked him up recently because I was actually thinking about reaching out to him to see if I could maybe get an interview with him.
He's
actually
to do.
he's actually a pretty prolific, primarily like playwright, and he's based in BC as well. But he's primarily a playwright.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Today I learned.
Dr. Ian Weir? No, that's a radiologist. Never mind. My bad.
Hey, it could be the same guy.
Well, yeah, I thought it might be. He might have like a doctor of arts or something like that, right?
Right. Well, he deserves one because I dig this episode a lot.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
So Christopher, I think it kind of starts in some like valley, and for the first time on the entire show, it shows us some like dumbass looking ape creature. Oh yeah, you guys can swear on this show, by the way. Unless but you don't have to.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah, I'm not making you.
We got the one F-bomb we're allowed to drop to make this PG-13.
Yeah, only one.
Right.
Only one.
Save
You
it.
one.
Savor it.
You got to save it for the right place.
Plenty of cursing on this show.
God. When I was watching the episode, all I could think was that meme, like what is it? Return to monkey or evolve to crab.
Oh my God! Yeah.
For your body's ultimate forms, and these monkeys were so bad. They were so. Also, didn't they kill all but? Are we allowed to talk about the episode and like what happens in the episode so far, or is it getting ahead of where we are?
We never try to talk too much ahead, right? But mentioning it's fine. But
because there's only one monkey left at the end.
I know.
And it's like, and that one, with his newfound Thor hammer, made the entire race. It's just the proto Hemsworth.
Hey, maybe they were just spread out a little bit, and they got back. The groups came back. The tribe.
Megatron's pretty bad at his job, so that makes sense.
Well, maybe proto Neanderthalis with his badass axe hammer. Maybe that gave him the confidence he needed to like venture out into the wild and become a total badass and fuck mad bitches in various different tribes.
I think he just
that. Yeah. Well,
what he was proto Shaft? Like that's Shaft. Booga, booga.
Shut your mouth.
But I'm just talking about Proto Shaft.
Yeah, just Proto Shaft. Ooh, ooh. Well, early there were lots of species of like proto humans that interbred with each other. Like Homo sapiens interbred with like Neanderthal, apparently. So I mean, you might not be wrong. Maybe he did go off and spread his wild oats.
Hey,
I
slept with that snake.
Hey, I studied anthropology for 2 years.
Nice.
Oh well, there you go.
So you already know.
So you're the expert on this episode, then.
I'm the closest thing to an expert. Yes, I will wear that title like a badge of honor.
The closest thing to a Beast Wars expert as we can get.
Well, I think Christopher is a Beast Wars expert. Like, he's the closest thing we have to an anthropologist. But like a
Yes.
Beast Wars expert,
Fair.
absolutely.
Fair, yeah.
Oh, sorry, Beasties
Professor
expert.
Siege.
Beasties, yeah.
Actually, I think Candice is probably more the Beast
Yeah.
Wars expert.
Oh,
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
I
she
think
is.
she's the Beast Wars expert.
No.
Oh, sorry, she's the
Oh,
Beast
yeah.
Wars expert.
Beast
Yeah.
Wars.
Christopher's
Right.
the Beasties expert. Fair.
It's a schism in the religion, basically. It's,
Yeah.
are
And
you a
it is
devout
Canadian
beastie?
show.
God. it's Transformers Degrassi. God.
So
my.
one thing I want to touch on, other than the monkey getting eaten by the snake at the beginning of the episode. Sorry, apes. Ape.
I was
the
gonna
ape
say
getting eaten by
they're not monkeys.
the snake.
They don't have tails.
Is there a seppuku scene with Dinobot at the beginning?
Yes!
Yes?
That
Yes,
is what I wrote down. I literally wrote my notes because I'm a nerdy historian. I wrote samurai suicide. What?
That is
Yeah.
Dinobot.
Like
So,
he's contemplating seppuku at the beginning.
yeah. So we cut to Dinobot in the Axelon, and he is like he has his drill rapier, and he's on his knees, like just ready to commit seppuku, and like he looks outside and like even sees like 3 ravens flying in the sky.
Oh, and the sun is the golden disc.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that. Man, this episode's so poetic.
I mean,
Wait,
it was
are
written
ravens
by
like the bringers of death?
yes.
Did you notice on his wall he has like his clone's skin
Oh my god.
draped on the wall? I swear.
He skinned Dino Clone.
Yeah.
I don't. It's what it
Wait.
looks like.
Well, he did eat him, remember?
Wow.
Wait, does the Dino Clone come in? I thought that was next season.
No, it was
Was it
earlier. Yeah.
The Beast Wars wiki is so good, by the way. I was looking through it, and they literally are like, and then Megatron made a clone out of him because he's a dick like that. And it's like, I want Wikipedia to be written like this, damn it.
All of Wikipedia.
I
Okay,
mentioned
confession. I was watching this episode earlier because I didn't know how we were going to do this. So I just wanted to have it fresh in my head, and that's all I kept saying to Megatron was, "What a dick!"
Yeah,
He's a jerk.
he is a jerk.
so.
Yeah,
So Dinobot decides not to go through with it and throws his drill rapier away in anger. And then we from there we cut to the bridge of the Axelon, and Transmetal Optimus comes up the elevator platform, and Rhinox is all like, "Hey, so you remember that big quantum surge, the transwarp explosion?" And Optimus kind of just like raises an eyebrow, and Rhinox is like, "Okay, stupid question." So the long and short of it is, Rhinox basically is like, so that quantum surge is traveling through space and time, and it's going to reach Cybertron, and they're going to pick up on it and know how to find us. Hallelujah!
How about that shit?
Yeah,
That's a game changer. So
Mhm.
they're going to find them in the future.
Huge.
Is this going to be like a Bender thing? Like where they just power down for 10,000 years? And
I
well, if you remember in the original Transformers Generation 1 3-part miniseries. They crash land on Earth and just lay in stasis lock for
That's
4
what I
million
thought.
years.
Like they did that forever, right?
Yeah.
So
They just chilled.
So are there guys
Those are very
already?
poetic.
Because is this Earth that they're on in the end? Does it turn out to be Earth?
This
I
is
can't remember.
Planet Energon, my
This
friend.
is it's so the joke there. So they call it Planet Energon, and this is the first step. I mean, it's obvious to the viewer, especially if you're an adult, that it's freaking Earth, right? But this is the first episode where they acknowledge that it's Earth.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to say because the.
Well, no, they Dinobot and Waspinator both came to the conclusion early on this season that it was
The
Earth.
two smartest Transformers.
Oh
on
my
the show.
God! I was wrong. It was Earth all along. Anyway, sorry. Also, why does Optimus Prime? Pardon me. What is Optimus Primal have sharp teeth while Megatron has blunt teeth?
Thank
I
you.
hate that. I hate it.
I hate it.
I'm in the last scene where Megatron's like, I almost made it. I almost did it. And he's got like flat teeth. And I'm like, what the hell, man? I don't get this.
Christopher and I don't like that Optimus Primal has sharp teeth either.
He shouldn't have
No,
sharp
me
teeth.
either.
I also
No,
don't
he
like that
shouldn't.
you can see one of their brains. It's weird.
Can you talk about Rat Trap?
Yeah, I got Rat Trap frozen on my screen right now, and he looks like it's either his brain or a freaking walnut. I'm not sure.
Hey, it's his brain helmet. Give him a break.
It's his thinking cap.
Oh.
Next idea to draw a rat trap with a walnut on his head. Nice.
Do it.
Aw, that's kind of adorable. So anybody familiar with the show more, Candice? Do you enjoy Rat Trap and Dinobots like butting heads, like their little back
Oh my
and
gosh,
forth?
all the time, yes.
Isn't it
Every
stressful when it's actually serious though? Like when it's actually like a feel bad rather than just
A little bit, yeah.
That's what happens here in this scene in the hallway.
Yes, but I
butt
love that
heads.
scene.
It's a good
written so
scene.
well.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a little touchy at first.
It's
a
little touchy. Yeah, well, like what does he say? He's like, "Oh, if it isn't Dinobot or something like that." And their exchange is Dinobot's like, "The base remains infested with vermin, I see." And he like does that bro shoulder shove as he walks by. Yeah. It's like, whoa. I when I left high school, I wanted it to stay there. But he gets a quip that kind of shakes him to his core. He's like, "It's funny, not much changes around here. Except maybe the occasional allegiance."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Find any golden discs lately?
oh Jesus.
Yeah,
Right?
and Rat Trap's like, I used to think I had you figured out. You were a scaly, scum-sucking
Saurian.
raptor butt, or whatever. Sorry. Oh yeah, Saurian. There's that word Saurian again.
Yeah.
It's the second time we've heard that word this season.
It's lizard descent.
Yeah. But yeah, he's like, but at least I always knew where you stand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's a good scene.
Yeah, he says, "I guess we live and learn," and kind of like fixes up his repairs on whatever he was doing and walks away. And Dinobot has an introspective moment as the lighting changes on him. And he's like, "The rodent's words give off the stench of truth."
The Stench of Truth sounds like the name of a death metal album.
Yeah.
And I'm only saying that because there is actually a death metal album named The Stench of Redemption. I think it's by Death.
Rad.
Nice.
Destiny has one great test in store for us all. Has mine already come? He's so poetic in this episode.
Yes.
Because he's normally not quite as poetic, right?
Well,
depends on the episode.
We have an ongoing joke. Yeah.
Also,
when he's by himself in the rain, he recites Shakespeare and poetry. But when he's around other people, he just acts like an angry jock.
so I gotta ask. So as soon as he runs off, for one, a raptor with a laser pistol is a great image. I think we need more of that. Because I was watching this and I was like, interestingly, yeah.
Interestingly enough, this is Rat Trap's pistol that he's carrying. Yep.
Is it?
It is, yeah.
Huh.
I didn't
So it
realize
is.
that.
But yeah,
So
Chris.
how do you get it?
Oh, excuse me. So they actually keep a munitions storage in the ship that we've seen.
Oh, okay.
There's one episode, I think it's Coming of the Fusors or something like that, where Dinobot like gears up. He's got like bullet belts
Oh, yeah.
hung across him. He's got this gigantic like rifle that he like cocks like an under and over. So, but one thing that we haven't seen, and Christopher and I have actually mentioned this, we're like, how come the people with the Maximals or the Predacons, when they're in their beast modes, if they have like, say, Scorponok, rest his soul, he can't use someone else's gun because he still has pincers, right? But
Yeah.
Optimus, why can't that guy like hold a gat?
Yeah.
Like his hands are the same in both forms.
Yeah. That's why we're here today. We got these opposable thumbs.
Yeah, because Optimus Primal knew how to load a gat. So it is kind of funny seeing like Dinobot in his raptor form like cock a gun and just like sprint off into the distance. Like Velociraptors are already dangerous. How much more dangerous could they be if you give them a gun?
Clever girl. Bam.
Yes.
There would have been a much different movie for Jurassic Park if they.
I think it would have just been an episode.
So yeah,
It would have been like a little 30-minute, like, we spared no expense. We gave them revolvers. Ah!
That reminds me, Kelly, you mentioned earlier about the Beast Wars wiki and like the way that it's written. The Transformers wiki, tfwiki.net, is written in a similarly like tongue-in-cheek manner that I find absolutely hysterical. And one of the best examples of it is that on the wiki page for Dinobot, the various toys of Dinobot over the years, when it's talking about the latest one that's coming out, the War for Cybertron Kingdom Dinobot figure, it says something along the lines of his form has been updated to more closely resemble a realistic velociraptor. And the word realistic velociraptor is a hyperlink that when you hover over it, takes you to the Wikipedia page for Jurassic Park.
I love that.
Da, 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 da. All right.
Well, the funny thing is, the joke about that is the velociraptors in Jurassic Park aren't actually velociraptors.
No, they're because like an actual velociraptor of that type is like what, a large chicken?
Like a dog, maybe.
It's like 3 feet tall, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, very very small. Dog sized. Yeah.
So small, much rage, very clever.
Very clever girl.
Yes.
So in the scene that follows, for some crazy reason, Cheetor decides he's going to fight Megatron and Rampage by himself.
I can't.
In what world does he win that scenario?
In this
Crab
one?
leg,
Spoiler,
and
in
crab
this
meat,
one.
all you can eat.
Oh, he wins it, does he?
He gets the moral victory.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
That does not.
He's expecting to use the cheat code of Hero. Up, down, left, right.
Well, he certainly tries.
Okay, why
Fails
does...
miserably.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna pull up the cast list because this is the only episode of Beast Wars I've watched in 20 years, so I need to remind myself of everyone's name. But like, when did Cheetor get like butt rockets?
Okay, so.
And why doesn't he use them later in the episode?
So, have you noticed that Cheetor and Rat Trap and maybe Optimus Primal kind of look a little different than season
Yeah,
one?
they're transmetal or something.
They're transmetals. And speaking of Energon bullshit, which is what we were talking about at the beginning of this recording, in their transmetal form, not only are they more powerful, more resistant to damage, etc., they can stay in that form indefinitely. They don't get Energon buildup in that form. And on the episodes where it revealed the transmetals, I endlessly complained that they looked bad and they look like toys instead of Beast Wars.
I wonder why.
And indeed,
wonder why.
their forms in the show are completely toy accurate.
Yeah,
The transmetals, season one, not their season one forms, not even slightly.
I want a realistic Velociraptor. God damn it!
Well,
Especially with a gun.
you just gotta believe.
I love that he cocks the gun.
Yeah.
They went hardcore. Was that in the Canadian version, or did they edit that out like they edited out the wars?
Well, keep in mind the title and the intro was different. It was called Beasties.
Yeah.
In the show, they still say Beast Wars. So other than the intro, the episodes are the same.
Was that really confusing?
No, not really.
You just figured it was some American bullshit?
As a kid, I just thought that the war was called the Beast Wars and the show was called Beasties.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And the toys were still called Beast Wars up here. So yeah, I didn't really think anything of it. Plus, I was also 11 when this show was on, so like, I kind of, I don't know, like I kind of guessed that it was some kind of censorship thing, because like I knew the show was called Beast Wars in the States even at that time. So I'm like, oh, it must just have been called Beasties in Canada because you can't have war in the title. And it turns out I was correct.
Yeah, and the same team, Mainframe Entertainment, that did Reboot and Beast Wars, they went on to do War Planets. But here in Canada, it was Planeties. Here in Canada, it was called Shadow Raiders.
Shadow Raiders, yeah.
I think I've heard of Shadow Raiders, actually. I don't think I've heard of the other title.
Yeah. Shadow Raiders sounds cooler, in my opinion, than War Planets, but...
Even though it says absolutely nothing about the show at all.
War Planets sounds like a way to market, like, I don't know, like a marbles game or something like that, or like...
Yeah.
Now use your War Planet and roll them against each other for maximum damage. I got him, Dad! Are you winning, son?
Somebody's been around for 90s commercials.
I'm an 80s kid. This is my lifeblood.
Well, and indeed, War Planets was the name of the toy line that the show was based on.
Did they light up or have a spin function?
I don't know. I never played with them.
Possibly
by the time that show was on, I wasn't even like playing with toys anymore.
And now that you're in your 30s,
and now that I'm in my
to come back to it.
And now that I'm in my 30s, I've like spent probably like $200 on Transformers in the past week.
Also, real quick, if you guys ever do Spider-Man the new animated series, because they're also Mainframe, I am 1,000,000% with you. Like from the ground up, by the way. Because that
actually.
You hit me up.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm a huge Spider-Man fan.
I'll remember that.
Spider-Man. Hey, you Spider-Man? You Spider-Man? Pizza time.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Let me just get my mecha and my car and my gun, because he used a machine gun. Sometimes, the Japanese one.
Wow.
I love that they brought that over in the Spider-Verse comics, actually. They combined all the worlds, including the one where he has like a giant mech, and it's the Japanese Spider-Man. Oh, it's so... Peter Parker!
I did not know that. Is his name still Peter Parker?
No, it's Christopher, you know what it is, right? It's like
No, I don't know.
I don't know either. We'll check it out after when we do our Spider-Man podcast.
Takuya Yamashiro.
There we go. Wow.
Takuya Yamashiro. Yeah. And it's a spider alien that he gets. He's a motocross racer.
Oh, well, that's wild.
That's why we'll come back. I'm going to close this. We're going to come back to this some other
Yeah,
day.
yeah. So, where were we? I think we were at like Cheetor tangoing with Megatron and Rampage.
Yeah, Cheetor is exchanging fire from the air with Megatron and Rampage, and he's not doing so great. And
Calls for backup.
You don't
Yeah.
say.
Dinobot shows up and throws Rat Trap's gun in the air and then transforms and then catches it.
That was pretty badass. Unnecessary, but badass.
Yeah.
Totally necessary is what you meant.
Oh, yes, sorry.
Mhm.
There's a scene with Tarantulas. He's a creepy bastard. I'm just going to TLDR that. He sees he caught an antelope or a deer in
Yeah.
like one of his webs. And he goes to go get him. Haha, it was a Dinobot trap. Fuck you, Tarantulas, you creepy bastard. Uh-oh, there's our F-bomb.
Watch your fucking mouth. God damn it.
I kind of like this trap. He like comes out of the ground
This is fantastic.
and like grabs Tarantulas by
I
the
know, like
throat.
fist first. Like it's pretty
Woo.
badass. He just like grabs Tarantulas by the throat. And yeah, he holds Tarantulas at gunpoint and is basically like I need to know what's on the golden disc. And Tarantulas is like, I don't know. And Dinobot's like, I don't believe you. So he shoots him. And Tarantulas is like, no, I really don't know. Only Megatron knows. And there are no more copies. And Dinobot's like, well, then I will go to Megatron. And Tarantulas laughs and is like, haha, he's miles away. And Dinobot just smiles, and we cut away to Tarantulas in back in beast mode with his like motorcycle wheels out, and Dinobot is riding him.
What a joy. He says something like, I'll make you pay for this, or something like that. For this
So he's, like,
humiliation.
He's sitting on him crisscross applesauce, right? Like,
Love that.
Yeah, we've joked in recent episodes because Dinobot likes to do this with Rat Trap a lot, and
Yeah.
we've joked that it's like a grown man riding a Power Wheels.
Yes.
Particularly Rat Trap because he's a third of the size of Dinobot.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
wanted
so-
the Power Wheels.
My stupid rich cousins had Power Wheels. Broke them in
I-
like a couple months.
seriously, like I want one. Like even today, I've got a real car and I want.
Oh, me too.
Fair.
Have you seen like the clips of like kids drifting in them now? It's so dope.
Yeah. Tokyo drifting around corners and pulling 360s and stuff. Yeah.
Doon 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 doon.
And
What a time to
definitely
be
not
alive.
hurting each other.
Can anybody else just agree with me on this that the mountain is a penis? Like if you look at it, is literally just like, I know I'm allowed to. You said I could swear, so it is a
Yep.
cock and balls, like right there. It is just like, I was looking at that, I'm like, really?
Is it?
That's a penis. At least the first image of it that they show, and they're like, oh yes, this will do nicely.
Okay.
It's
I
just
only-
my size. Cheers.
Megatron
guess
would
I
be a
could see
size
that.
queen, yeah.
I wouldn't
That
expect
never crossed
anything
my-
else.
Like
Didn't cross my
seriously,
mind
like the
either.
image of him like holding up the picture, it looks like a down facing like selfie that you'd send on Tinder or something. Like, sorry, parts that are edited out of this episode for 100.
Well, anything looks like a wiener if you try hard enough.
Yeah, I don't. I guess
don't
I
think-
can kind of see it, but
Kind of.
it's not really.
It's Kelly's job to see these things.
It's like I'm a dick scientist. Oh, never mind. It's I'm watching the episode right now. That has just been it's been neutered.
Oh,
Oh.
poor Mountain.
Oh,
So-
poor Mountain.
To summarize that little scene that Kelly's
Sorry,
talking
sorry.
about. No, it's fine because like we want to get to the good parts of the show. In past episode, we've talked about how Megatron, the psychopath that he is, tortures and keeps Rampage under his thumb. He literally has his spark in a vice, an energon vice.
Under my thumb. Yeah, like that song. It does. It's
Unfortunate
so
for
evil.
Rampage. It's very evil. It's one of the more evil things he's done. And he gets Rampage to blow up the penis mountain. And
Yeah, so
Christopher, can you mention the disc? It plays video now? Yes?
so Megatron pulls out the golden disc, and like the tip of his dick laser changes to a
Oh, now, well, I guess anything if you draw it hard enough.
his like laser tail thing. It like flops around like a dick. I don't like it.
I like how we rip on Kelly for calling the mountain dick shape, but for the last like 6, 7, 8, 9 episodes, Christopher's like called Megatron's arm a floppy dick.
This cannot be unseen.
A 3.5-inch floppy dick.
Candice, I'm sorry. It's
Why? Is your
This is
dick
what I have to deal
segmented
with.
too? Because that's it's
I wish.
opposable. Also, watching this episode, I was like I said before the episode, when I was growing up, I always thought like I used to like practice voice acting stuff and be like I want to sound like Megatron, right? I want to be
I did that
ooh,
too.
right? And because he had the best voice. But listening to it now, David Kay's voice is much higher pitched than I'm used to. Like for years, I've been going like yes. And in actuality, he sounds like Stan Smith from American Dad. Like he sounds like Seth MacFarlane almost in this.
I
And,
can see that. I can
Right?
see that.
Good morning, Energon.
Good morning, Energon. Yeah.
The thing is when you heard his voice as a kid, any any grown ass man's voice is gonna sound deep.
It's true. It's true.
Fair. That's a good point.
Much
Yeah,
like
Your
much like, you know,
14-year-old cousin who just hit puberty sounds like he has like a smooth
Yes,
jazz voice.
good.
Fuck yeah, time to go kick Megatron's ass.
Time to get pecs like Optimus Primal.
Or juiced up Pterosaur.
yeah. So Megatron, the tip of his dick laser turns into a Discman, and he inserts the golden disc into it. And the golden disc, apparently, despite being a phonographic record, literally the sounds of the Earth from the like Voyager space satellite thingy.
Yeah,
Space
the probe.
So despite it being a phonographic record, it apparently plays video now.
It's a laser disc.
Yeah, that's exactly how laser discs work.
They're coming back. You know what? Megatron's got like a giant floppy CD
The
playing.
word you're looking for is prehensile.
Oh, sorry. He's got a prehensile wiener that plays. You know what he is? He's a hipster.
Oh my god,
Like, that's all he is. He's just got like a lo-fi arm. Like it's not a big deal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a record player / laser disc reader.
It's got a little needle that comes down. You've never heard the sounds of the Earth till you've heard them on vinyl.
Oh. So what's the purpose of the scene?
And now, Rampage, we will listen to John Lennon's Imagine together. Yes.
Yes.
Imagine all the people. If they didn't exist. Fuck.
Imagine all the people. Except there won't be any people after this afternoon. No.
You'll have to imagine them. Yes.
Someone pitched this to David K. Let's make this happen.
Right?
Oh.
I'd pay for that.
I think that with like modern computing power and like rendering, you could probably like remake Beast Wars with like just like a $1,000 laptop now. right?
I
Because
mean,
Jeez.
there's a lot of ray tracing going on here. Oh, but they don't render it in real time. That's true.
Yeah. Actually, there's someone on YouTube who is using computer AI to actually remaster the old episodes of Beast Wars in like 4K, and they actually look really good.
really.
Yeah, I wish Hasbro would, or Shout Factory, because I think they have the home video rights to Beast Wars. I wish they would get on doing that.
Yeah.
It's the
I'll have to check
25th anniversary of Beast Wars. Like, come on, like
Come
come out
on.
with a like Beast Wars 4K Blu-ray box set.
I'll have to check that out later. And it's just one guy that's doing that.
Yeah,
Good for
I
him.
think he's doing it for Reboot as well.
Yes.
Oh, rad! I'm gonna have to
Amazing.
creep that. I didn't know that. So what's happening here? He's looking at the discs like hollow projector, and he's proven that he can change the future. That it is one timeline. This is how time travel works, right? So exploding that mountain now permanently gets rid of it in any past or future timeline.
I'm just gonna mess with John Connor.
Yeah,
I'm already confused with that saga.
same thing.
You know what? Beast Wars is way more coherent now.
This is
Yeah.
more
Fair.
like Marty McFly.
Oh, this
With
is
it-
true. So
You know,
True.
with
if
the
he doesn't
photo.
blow up the mountain,
With the photo,
then Optimus Primal won't exist because his parents won't go to the end of the sea dance.
So it's cyclic. This was supposed to happen. Gotcha.
Yeah. And Dinobot doesn't actually die. He just goes back to the Old West.
Jesus Christ.
Nice.
Wait, what?
Nice.
Wait, does
Have
that
you ever
actually
watched
happen?
Have you watched the third one?
The
Kelly?
third what season?
No, sorry. The third Back to the Future.
Oh, it goes back. God damn it, you're good. I thought you were actually talking because there's so many spin-offs for this, like in comic book form and all of that. I'm like, did they do a fucking Wild West Transformers?
I would read that.
I would read that too.
The cat would too.
The cat would read it too.
I apologize. He
No,
gets very
it's
loud
fine.
when he has his toy.
He gets.
Is it
he
a
gets
Beast Wars toy?
No, he is a
Yeah,
Siamese, so he's
now.
very vocal
Good.
sometimes.
Get that cat a headset, damn it.
Hey, Stark, get over here. He said no. guys.
But yeah, so yeah, basically the hollow projector shows the mountain that's like right in front of them, the Dick Mountain. And yeah, Megatron's all like, Rampage, shoot that mountain, yes. And he blows the top of the mountain off, and the mountain in the recording also has its top blown off immediately afterwards, so he has proven that he can change the future. One
That's
future,
pretty
anyway.
remarkable. Yes.
And Dinobot's this was kind of a comedic moment for me. The camera zooms out, and Dinobot's like 20 feet away. It's like on the other side of the canyon in plain sight with Tarantulas just watching.
I like there's a little brief exchange here where Rampage is all like, you presume to order me? And Megatron just gets this like smug fucking smirk on his face as he like taps his arm.
Yeah, I liked that. Yeah.
So good.
So Tarantulas, after realizing that Dinobot realizes that he has to stop Megatron, he takes a shot at him. But he underestimated eye lasers.
Oh shit.
Get fucked, Tarantulas.
Oh snap.
Yeah, Dinobot eye lasers the rocks, which fall and crush Tarantulas. Good
Well,
riddance.
this happens
beautiful set.
all the time to tarantulas.
time.
I want to
I
count
love
how many
this.
times this has happened.
The splat effect. Just, oh, so good.
And across the canyon, Dinobot looks out. And is it all of the Predacons? Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Well, all the remaining ones.
Yeah, and Megatron says, like in a little bit of a brief monologue, basically that humans played an integral role in the Autobots defeating the Decepticons, and thus the Maximals becoming the ones in charge of Cybertron, basically. And he's
Right.
all like, but I've had enough of that shit. Yes. Time to change the future.
Destroy this valley and everything in it.
And so Waspinator and Inferno come flying in with like napalm.
Yeah, everybody starts, all the Predacons are there, and they start just burning the valley. So presumably, this is the valley where the precursor of humans originated. This ape-like creature in here. And they presume if they kill all of the ones in here that mankind will never happen.
It's actually mentioned in the episode that humanity is destined to emerge from that valley.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be like Mesopotamia or something, right? So how is that
Somewhere.
mountain? Why is that mountain on the disc after it's blown up, though? Right? Because like it makes sense that hey, there's this important mountain, but why would someone take a picture of a blown up mountain? Like they would have picked another like religious site, another thing like that. Like if you took, I don't know what's a good mountain, Mount Everest, and you like cleave the top off of it, people would just be like, huh, that's a strange flat mountain. Let's go to the tall mountain next to it.
Let's go to K2.
Yeah, K2, right? Is there a K2? K.
I always wondered that, but I don't want to jump ahead because I'm not sure about what's going on in that episode either. So.
Unless they took a picture of that mountain because they couldn't explain why the top had blown off because it's not volcanic. So they took a picture of it because it's an anomaly.
Jeez.
The simple explanation is it's just a very easy way to explain.
All information is on this vinyl disc.
Everything on Earth.
It's a very simple and easy way to visualize to the viewer what Megatron's plan is essentially.
Oh, totally. I'm nitpicking.
We're reading too much into this.
I'm going too deep, but because I guess the thing is this episode kind of asks for that though, because honestly, the writing is so damn good. Like the character writing is
so good,
awesome. Okay, so like in the next scene, like they're going to try to help him, right? Who is
go ahead,
the Maximal that's surfing? Is that Optimus Primal on the surfboard?
Yeah, Optimus Primal. Yeah,
it's like surfing.
Why is he the Silver Surfer? Like
sweet summer child, welcome to Transmetals.
Yeah,
that's this guy.
I really think that I might have.
It's Transmetal Vehicle Mode.
Transmetal Vehicle Mode. Hang 10 Maximals.
So Dinobot, when he realizes that backup isn't coming anytime soon, and the Predacons are literally committing genocide, like they're all in there burning down the trees, like opening fire, like non-discriminately on everything. Dinobot's like, I guess the future is not fixed, which means I have a part to play in this, and my choices are my own. Like I make my own fate. And I was like, holy shit.
And yet, how ironic, for I have no choice at all. It's one of the best lines in this episode. One of the best lines in this show. Period.
Yep. No,
with the sun setting behind him. Yeah, it's and all of the apes like trying to like scamper away from the fire.
Oh.
Somebody doesn't like that.
I also really like the music in this episode.
Music design is great.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's gotta solo this shit. But like you were saying, Kelly, as the rest of the, it's funny that Kelly's like, who the hell is the one on the surfboard?
Well, it's just like surfing because like I will get because there's a scene later in the episode that I'm not going to talk about yet, but like where I looked up and I didn't notice the surfing because I was glancing down and taking a note, I think, about like the dialogue being great, and I looked up and they're like, oh yeah, they're coming, whatever, like they're here to save the day. I didn't notice the three of them were flying. Can't you fly a little faster than that? Like, and I didn't notice one of them was surfing until the last part of the episode where there's a flyover of something.
Yeah,
and I'm like, is some motherfucker surfing on top of?
That's his jetboard. That's his jetboard.
His jetboard.
Yeah, I guess.
Of course.
This was the 90s. Do you remember when people used to jump out of airplanes with like snowboards and like they would call it airboarding?
Yeah, I've seen Point Break, okay, and I know Kid Cloud Kicker.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
It was
I
cool
know.
in the
Cloud
90s.
Kicker. Jesus Christ.
You know Kick Cloud Kicker. Come on.
Fucking tailspin.
Tailspin, yes.
Spin it! Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, yeah. Anyway. But yeah,
Yeah.
I was watching this and I was like, what the hell? Go
It's
faster.
it's a little jarring. Christopher and I rip into the Transmetals quite a bit at the beginning of the season.
I like them a lot more than Cal does, but
I like certain ones. I like Cheetor and Rat Trap.
Did everybody become a transmetal?
No.
No.
Because like Rhinox is the same, right?
yeah, and so is
Yes, indeed.
Dinobot.
And so
You
is
don't-
Black Arachnia and Inferno.
You don't mess with perfection.
Exactly.
There is actually a science to, or there is a certain degree of logic to like who became a transmetal in at the beginning of this season and who didn't. So none of the protoforms became transmetals. So characters that were introduced via Stasis Pod. So the only people who became transmetals were original Cybertronian cast members. And not all of them became transmetals because the ones that didn't were in restoration chambers.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
I thought it was because that like just who would be most likely to have their toys bought.
I mean, ultimately, yes.
I was like, I'm not kidding. Like, I'm looking at this, I'm like, I don't think
you're
anybody
right.
bought Rhinox. I'm pretty sure, but I'm surprised that like,
I mean, that's why
Dinobot.
No.
that's why Terrorsaur and Scorponok were killed off. It's because their toys weren't selling.
Rip in peace.
That's a little confusing though, because some of the guys that came out of the pods weren't transmetal. However, Optimus got his new body from a stasis pod.
That's a good point. Yeah.
that's transmetal.
But
That's the
How did
one
that-
caveat.
Optimus Primal is Robot Jesus, and he is
Oh, yes,
reborn
sorry.
as a transmetal.
You're right. Silly of me.
There you go. And I mean, his spark was at the epicenter of the Planet Buster exploding. So maybe his spark itself became transmetal.
That's pretty metal.
That is pretty metal.
Getting
Transmetal
blown
even.
up in space, and your soul like getting a sweet new like metallic body. Christopher, if you're still
Tweet.
writing metal songs, there's definitely some inspiration there. Speaking of like metal as fuck though, Dinobot, usually it's hard to convey combat over a podcast. We're just talking, right? It ends up sounding really nerdy, like, oh, and then he does a backflip, and then he like slices his arm off with a sword. Oh, it's so cool! You guys need to watch it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's why like usually during when fights are going on, I like to just like summarize it being like, yeah, so Dinobot and Quick Strike like get into a battle and Dinobot wins.
But sometimes on the show, it's really badass, and I think Dinobot's like one man stand against them is badass enough where we can go into a little bit of detail there. For example, he gets the drop on Inferno right away, and for the first time ever, and spoilers and the last, we get to see something I've wanted him to do with his drill sword the entire show. He fucking cuts Inferno in half. Like he like cuts him down from like what the top of his torso and like drills all the way through his torso, and I'm like, yes, kill him.
Oh.
Hey, but not.
Go ahead.
I was about to say, like, is that before or after he shoves Waspinator down his gun?
That's before.
It's before.
Yeah, this is...
Black Arachnia is like machine gunning Dinobot, and he like puts Inferno's body in his way, takes Inferno's gun, shoots Black Arachnia, and then shoots Inferno's own head off.
Oh yeah. You're right. I was ahead of a little bit.
And Megatron sees the head fly off into space and like narrows his eyes like, that's strange.
This is mildly problematic. I'm going to have to file an OSHA claim.
Kenosis troops are imbeciles, but this is a little too far. Like, why
He's
would
like-
somebody's head be flying off?
I
They're
specifically said, don't lose your head.
They're simple apes. They haven't even begun to learn how to use hammers yet. How is this possible?
Because
I even gave you a CD with the Queen song from the Highlander soundtrack, Don't Lose Your Head, in case you forgot.
Wow. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Christopher fits in an actual relevant Highlander reference.
every
into the
Highlander
show.
reference is relevant, didn't you know?
Oh, we know.
Oh,
We
they
know
have
well.
been. Especially on our reboot podcast.
Oh,
He
God.
has, yeah. Dinobot has Inferno's gun now, but not his sword. He left it in his torso.
Yeah, so Dinobot goes charging and leaps off of a cliff and uses his whirly tail as a helicopter.
Yes, so cool.
great.
Why did it take this long?
It's everything I've wanted him to do with these. Right? And he breaks his fall by landing on Waspinator. And Kelly, this is the part where he grabs Waspinator by the torso and jams him right into Rampage's cannon. And it blows up. He blows himself up, and Waspinator's hanging like a limp noodle.
Now, how
So
many of
he's
these characters
charging them out.
how many of these characters actually come back after this? Are these, because some of them are obviously dead.
Well,
all but one.
funny,
Nah.
it's all but one.
Oh, too soon.
So
Oh.
It's been 24 years, damn it. It hasn't been
Hasn't
long.
it has shown Megatron, Terrorsaur, and Inferno, hell, even Waspinator, blown to bits. But as long as you collect the bits back up and put it in a restoration chamber, you can revive them. You can, right? Because the spark is intact in their torso. Inferno's head flying off, that's the fourth time that's happened.
But the spark, the stuff about the spark is just weird.
I
I
agree.
I guess we'll get to that though.
It is, yeah. I the way I think of it is kind of they have an HP gauge and kind of an armor gauge, and you can blow apart their armor, right? But their HP, their soul, their spark, if that hits 0, then they die.
So it's
And
Halo.
usually, yeah, kind of, yeah, it's like Halo. You've got your shield and your health, and you only die when your health goes all the way down.
Yeah.
You mean GoldenEye 64, Christopher? It's like GoldenEye 64. What's Halo?
No, I mean Halo.
Oh, sorry, I was trying to stick with the.
Yeah, I guess.
Why does
Halo wouldn't know by this point.
Scorponok's hands look like they're covered in hot dogs?
Well, what?
I think it's Scorp. No, it's not Scorponok's. That's
Rampage. No.
No, the rattlesnake.
Oh my
Quick Strike.
god, I hate him.
Oh,
Quick
oh, that's
Strike.
Quick Strike. It looks like he's holding a bunch of hot dog wieners,
He's
at
dumb.
a
He's
cookout.
dumb. I don't like him. He's dumb. He's my least favorite Beast Wars Transformer. He's dumb. He's repetitive. He says "what in tarnation" at least once an episode. I don't like him.
What in tarnation?
Tarnation.
The show gave us something we didn't ask for, Quick Strike, but it takes away Scorponok and Terrorsaur from me. How dare they?
At least Waspinator sticks around, right? Because Waspinator was the man.
Yes, at least Waspinator is here. I don't know if I could have kept watching if he wasn't.
It's just Waspinator was great. Oh, and Pterosaur, right? Pterosaur's
Yeah.
because you need that
he's a
battle cry.
shithead. Yeah.
Pterosaur, Terror! Oh, so good.
He's great, and he's treacherous, and he's great and cowardly.
One lonely turncoat battling on against impossible odds. I'm almost touched.
Fortunately, such moments pass by quickly. Quick Strike, scrap him! And when he's like, Quick Strike, scrap him, I'm like, Quick Strike?
Of all people.
The shittiest Predacon?
How is he still standing?
Dinobot kicked Quick Strike's ass a few episodes ago. Quite easily.
The battle to the death was
Yeah.
against Quick Strike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot.
So why send that guy after him?
Because Dinobot's on like last legs. Oh, his head is like falling apart. His helmet is like all scorched and like broken.
And he tries the eye lasers, and they're all like, "No, I don't have the power."
That hurt my soul when he tries to eye laser him and like they just spark.
But instead, and this is where I have my notes right here, Kirk punch. He does the Captain Kirk 2-hand. So good.
So Quick Strike,
So
when
that's
the eye lasers don't work, Quick Strike is like, so what's a warrior without weapons, eh? And
That was a pretty good quick strike.
Dinobot,
You're still.
yeah. Oh yeah, and then he does like Kirk punch him, and
He
then
Kirk punch twice. He gets him with an uppercut, and then he brings it back. He brings the hammer down.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like dun 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 dun, and then just like it's so good. And then he just shoves his face into a rock, and he's like,
just absolutely, what a slobber knocker! It's a slaughter here. Kicks his ass. The fire in the background.
and the camera's spinning.
The
camera.
The lights flickering off of Dinobot.
Yeah, the reflection.
And the 360, like it just keeps spinning around him to symbolize just like, actually quite a bit of things, I think, right? Like, what's it? Like,
his internal computer tells him, warning, power levels 96% depleted. Stasis lock must commence. And Dinobot
he overrides it. Yeah.
And his computer is like basically like, no, dude, seriously, you're gonna die if you don't go into stasis lock. And Dinobot Dinobot is angrily like repeats override, and his computer is like acknowledged.
Yeah, you're the boss.
Okay.
Guess I'm going down with the ship, boss.
It's your funeral.
You do you.
I'm just an operating system. Like,
so yeah, Kelly, you were saying like there's all this symbolism. There's probably like analogies to other things in this whole episode. See how easy it is that a 22-minute cartoon show can actually, like, Christopher and I can actually talk about it for 2 hours.
Oh yeah,
like,
totally.
Yeah.
There's a lot
sometimes
to
longer
unravel here. Yeah, sometimes longer.
We have some fucking marathon episodes,
especially the two-parters. Yeah.
Yeah. Even when we're like, oh, it's a 2-parter, we're gonna try and limit discussion of each episode to 1 hour. 3.5 hours later.
Good luck with that.
God, Megatron is such a baller.
Yeah, when he shows up on the scene, walking around
like, oh, it's so good.
Let's see, where are we now? I have the golden disc. I have the power to change the future. And the only remaining obstacle is in my path to unimaginable glory is yourself. Exhausted, damaged beyond recovery, defeated. The way he said defeated, I was like, that's weird. Like his voice changed.
What a line.
It got really dark.
Like he can't just end him. He has to like crush his soul too. Maybe that's how you actually kill Transformers.
Well,
you have to, like, demoralize them first.
Well, even like going all the way back to Beast Wars Part 1, when they were fighting in space, Dinobot was all like, their shields are down, destroy them. And Megatron was like, no, where's the fun in that? A little torment, I think, first. Cheers.
He likes to watch him squirm.
And that's what he's doing here.
And that's why he loses, right? He just, that and, monkey stick.
Well,
but like,
monkey stick. Well, indeed, he, as Dinobot kind of like does his last stand, he goes, not just yet. And he kind of like gestures with this prehensile wobbly arm over to one of the proto-humans, and he's got like it in energy bindings, which I've never seen on the show before. Like
monkey
purple
bondage.
Monkey bondage, yeah.
Monkey bondage. It's purple rope. We all have seen that.
Okay. One more step, and it's raining bits. It's raining bits of early anthropoid. Anthropoid. Yeah, that's a word. Sure it is.
Cheers.
I'm not even sure if this is actually humans. They all look alike.
2021, cancel Megatron.
That's odd. They look a lot like Optimus Primal.
Hmm.
Then
Oh.
Optimus shows up and he's like, now my ears are burning. No, I wish. I wish that happened.
I have paused it on a frame here, and Megatron's teeth vanished. Only half of them, though. It looks like he got some punched out. If you stop it at 16:14, like the gap, he's got like this huge gap in his teeth. It's weird. Anyway, sorry. It's just like, what the hell?
Christopher and I noticed like scene to
They're
scene
shiny.
differences sometimes. Yeah.
Megatron cares about dental hygiene, okay? We've seen
Apparently
it before.
not.
He does.
He does. He really does. We've seen him brush his teeth.
Well, that's
before.
why he's got caps. He's the only one that has like tooth caps, like Schwarzenegger got when he moved to America, right?
It's cosmetic, okay? He's vain.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks good. It looks like I would hire Megatron before I'd hire Optimus Primal, like just because those sharp teeth. I don't trust him.
Never trust a guy with sharp teeth.
Also, his name's Megatron. Like I feel like he'd be good in the IT department, but Optimus Primal, maybe as like a personal trainer.
Yeah.
I'm Optimus
Primal
Primal. I'm
Rage.
here to help you get swole.
You know,
With those pecs.
Right?
I actually got curious today because I was like, what is the origin of the word Megatron? Because it definitely predates Transformers, because like our theme song for season 1 of this podcast was a song called Megatron Man by Patrick Crowley, which is from the early 80s.
Mm.
So I'm like, what does Megatron actually mean? Because it's not strictly limited to Transformers, even though that's like at this point that's all anyone would associate it with. So I looked it up, and Megatron was actually the name of a type of F1 engine.
Oh, really?
From like a certain like F1 car made by BMW in like 1968. The name of the engine was Megatron.
Huh. I remember seeing a car battery called Megatron.
Yeah, right. There you go.
As random as that might sound, but I was like, wow, it's Megatron. That's cool.
And I guess naming a transformer, like a thing that transforms into a vehicle of some sort, although he turned into a gun, but like using the name Megatron for a transformer kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
It
It is a car-related thing.
There was also a DJ Megatron in. Probably never mind. I thought he was started in '78, his career, but no, he started in '78. It's probably not the same.
He started in 78.
He started in '78, not his career. I was like, damn,
just-
DJ Meg.
It is when he came online. Yes.
Yes, good. Oh man.
So
but yeah, so Dinobot charges at Megatron and
with a stick,
and
beats the
Megatron
shit out of him and wins, and the episode is over.
He sticks it to him.
Ho!
Oh.
Unfortunately, no. Megatron sees him shorting out. Dinobot's minutes are numbered. His cycles are numbered. And he even like laughs and mocks him. He's like, oh, really, Dinobot? A stick against a transmetal?
Oh, you stupid bastard.
I think not.
I like how Dinobot's computer is all like, Jeopardy, extreme, repeat, extreme.
He's like, yeah, I got that computer.
Stofu.
He even says like, oh, face it, Dinobot, your old technology. Obsolete. What can you possibly do?
And of
You
course,
are
best line of
from-
the episode.
You are
Yeah.
from last year's toy line. Yes. I am from this year's.
You're saying, Kelly, one of the best lines after
Oh, yeah.
Megatron's line.
What can you do? Improvise. It's so good, right?
It's
and
so
then he makes
good.
Stormbringer.
Yeah, he slams the vine, like the stick, down onto like a little pointy like rock in the ground and rips it out. Like
He's
makes
lucky
a
that wasn't a
warhammer.
bigger rock.
Oh,
Wouldn't that have
Megatron!
been great if he just slams it into the ground like the rock's actually like 40 feet deep and he's like, well, shit.
Now my stick is broken.
I have I noticed you might have some openings with the Predacons. I'd like to come back.
Well, it's funny you say that. A few episodes back, that
He
literally
tried that.
happened.
Is that what happened? Okay, I was wondering because like
I
the
don't
rat
think that
trap stuff. Okay,
That one's not canon to me.
it's not canon.
In my head, it's not canon.
Wasn't a very good episode.
The turncoat episode where he like tries to join the Predacons and then comes groveling back to the Maximals. Not my favorite.
When he attacks Megatron with Stormbringer, I want somebody to make a remix of this with the Immigrant Song in the background, like it's so.
Oh, it's good.
That's what's on the CD.
Oh, that's what's on the Sounds of Earth.
The Sounds of Earth is just this. It's just that sound from just I'd believe that.
For like 5 years, I couldn't remember what that song was called, and I tried to describe it to people, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, oh, but I can't remember," and I was like, "It's driving me insane."
I think it's driving you insane. It plays whenever Chris Hemsworth enters a room. He's going nuts.
Nice. It's his theme song.
It's his theme song. I would love that.
A Dutch folk metal band that I've been listening to for well over a decade, Heidewolk, did a cover of that about
really?
6 years ago. It's actually pretty good.
Nice. I will listen to any cover of that. Like Trent Reznor did a cover of it for the American version of Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. It's aight.
It's aight.
it's aight. I don't think it's as good as the original, but like it's kind of a grungier version if you're going to be like, like booting up some Vampire the Masquerade bloodlines or something. It's good for the background of that.
Yeah. Agreed.
I'm going to post a link to the song.
Yeah, please. I want to hear that in a bit.
So, his improvised weapon, Candice, how you feel about him one-shotting Megatron with it?
pretty damn badass.
Beats the shit out of him with it, knocks him prone, freeing the ape, mind you, and also makes the golden disc slide out from him, I think. He's even sparking Megatron.
Yeah, it does fly out of him. Yeah, he's sparking.
Yeah, it flies out because Dinobot catches the golden disc.
Yep.
I love this.
I love it too.
I mean, despite how defeated he is, he's just going all out. It's amazing.
He uses the last, literally the last like ounces of the energy of his soul, of his spark, to like do the mightiest like scream, and as he like eye lasers into the sky, and just the golden disc like shatters into a million pieces.
Please, he fucking eye lasers the golden disc.
Yes, he does. It is gone. There is no putting that thing back together.
Yeah, and he falls back onto the ground.
They could probably get like a CD scratch repair kit and get that thing back together.
Just right out.
Some super glue and
that's one of those grinders. Those grinders, but
some toothpaste on it.
Yeah, put some toothpaste. Yeah,
you can get all that stuff on LimeWire. It's fine.
Wow.
It's 1998. I guess it would be
take it to Blockbuster and get them to buff the disc.
Just rewind the disc for me.
Wow.
I actually went to Blockbuster once when I was a kid, like right when, I guess not when I was a kid, I guess I was a teenager at the time, right when DVDs were really like rentable finally. And this one small place had a bunch of Be Kind Rewind stickers on the discs.
Wow.
Which was great, but if you know anything about like DVDs or like PlayStation 1 games, you know what that does to your laser when you have an off-kilter disc grinding in it.
Yeah.
Because it changes the weight distribution. Oh man, it was awful.
It's bad.
It was Bad News Bears. I think they did that with Sega CD games.
Never had a Sega CD.
Dude, it was the best. Play the original Lunar on there. It was so good, Christopher. You know what I'm talking about.
I loved all the FMV games.
I know.
I'm so jealous.
Kamen Rider. Did you play the Kamen Rider Zo game?
No, I didn't.
You played like Night. What's it called? The Night Stalker, Night Hunter. The horror.
Is that the one where the people try to do like a home entry?
Night Trap. That's the one. The one that got like censored. Super. I've never played it, but I think I got it on Steam recently.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it's available to purchase on modern systems. I've been
Stream
thinking
it.
of going back to it. Yeah,
Stream
stream
it and let the audience like do the quick time events.
Yeah, that game and Mortal Kombat were the reason why we have ESRB ratings, like all the way to this day.
They really
Thank you,
work,
Mortal
too.
Kombat.
Thank you, Mortal Kombat, for bringing John Rambo back one last time. I love that with Mortal Kombat 11, they're like, hey, Stallone, would you like to be Rambo in this game? He's like, yeah, sure, why not? And then like, hey, Arnold, would you like to be the Terminator? Fuck you, asshole. Just like,
But you know what? RoboCop is in the latest Mortal Kombat game, and he is
Yep.
actually voiced by Peter Weller.
is it Peter Welker in there? Okay, so they
Wow.
got 2 out of 3 for that game.
And Spawn is in it, and Keith David does the voice of him.
I think
Oh.
Keith David will come back to any project he was ever in, though. That man loves what he does.
Yeah.
He wasn't
right.
in the Thing prequel.
Oh,
Yeah, but that's fair. The Thing prequel's so weird, though.
I want to like it, but I kind of hate it.
You know that they did all of the effects with practical, and then in the
Yes.
last minute covered it up.
Yes.
With CGI, yeah.
I know
that was
well.
yeah.
Again, they had the original studio, or it was either the original studio that did all the effects, like, or someone that was it Stan Winston who did the original effects. I think it was.
It was his company that did.
And I think it's either his company or his company's like a protege of his company got hired to do the effects. And it would have been amazing.
They were done, like production, and for some reason some of the bigger like producers of that were like, no, we need to touch this up.
And then
they CG'd over everything, and I've seen some of the footage of it before it was touched up by CG, and it's like actually horrifying and great looking. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care if I can see little tendrils that are like the lines connecting the moving parts. Right? I'd rather that than just like the really bad. Anyways.
Anyway,
you know what I like? You know what I like in that movie that is great looking though? Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
That is true. That is true.
Big fan of hers.
Oh yeah. I will watch anything with Kurt Russell in it, even though he wasn't in the prequel. But my partner has a huge crush on Kurt, like old, like Snake Plissken Kurt Russell.
Nice.
What does she think of Wyatt Russell, his son, who looks like basically just like him?
The only thing that she's ever really seen him in is like that 10 seconds at the end of the most recent Marvel episode.
Oh, okay. You should watch the movie Overlord.
Oh wait, that was him?
Yeah, that was him.
Oh, yeah,
I
we watched
that either.
That was the first thing that I saw him in, and I like that movie made me a fan of his. Like
she
Wyatt
really
Russell's
liked
awesome.
that movie.
Yeah,
that was the first one I've been trying to get her into horror movies because it's all I watch these days, really. And that was the entry point. Was, hey, do you want to watch like Nazi zombies and stuff? And she was like, yeah, I could watch that. And she loved it.
Good.
he's also in a really good episode of Black Mirror.
Okay, which
I
one?
need to catch up on that.
I can't remember. Like, he ends up going to this house and basically ends up like tripping balls while he's there.
Okay.
All right, you crazy kids. Let's get back to the Beast Wars.
Beast
Wars! The listeners are like, God damn it, this is the most important episode of Beast Wars ever, and they're talking about Mary Elizabeth Winstead and Kurt Russell's kid.
Not even the audience. Candice and I are like, will you nerds shut up? No, I'm kidding.
No.
So
Megatron's all like,
Megatron's hubris.
I was close. I was so close.
Just a little bit more. Yeah, and
he transforms and flies away.
His own, like, he fucked himself over. He could have just shot Dinobot and took off. So, once again, just like the first episode of season 1, Megatron's own like, kind of like wicked desires of drawing things out and tormenting others and torturing, drawing out a battle, has made him fail. He lost the golden disc.
Mm-hmm.
And even if he wanted to
Well, and
finish off,
now he's lost both discs.
oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because he lost the alien disc in the other visits.
That's right. He has no discs now.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Nope. Got
Oh,
a
thanks for
Discman and
reminding
nothing
me.
to play on
Wah,
it.
wah.
Sad. Can somebody burn me a copy of Big Shiny Tunes 4? I just noticed as
Props. That is my favorite Big Shiny Tunes CD.
I remember something. While I was making that joke, I was spinning the gears in my head, and I'm like, "Oh, which one was his favorite? Which one was his favorite? 4, right?" I just realized that as the Maximals arrive on the scene. Sorry, we're talking about the episode again, folks.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like when Mary Elizabeth Winstead arrives on the scene.
I know.
Listening to Big Shiny Tunes 4.
God,
as you do,
as one does. I think Optimus sprays some sort of like
psychedelic
powder over the fire.
No, it's
Cheetor
Cheetor.
does.
Yeah, Cheetor.
Oh, is it
does
Cheetor?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he actually does something right.
They crop dust it.
Cropped it, yes.
It completely puts it out. Huh. Wow, in one fell swoop. Holy, go
Shocking.
Cheetor.
He did something right. It's shocking, I know.
Hey, you don't talk about my boy Cheetor.
I'm sorry.
I mean, you're not wrong. But so this, I have never ever gotten teary-eyed over an episode of Beast Wars up until like now. Like this scene here with the Maximals around Dinobot as he's taking his last breath.
Yeah, I bawled my eyes out.
I teared up a little too.
Not gonna lie.
As a kid or as an adult?
Like I watched this like 3 hours ago. Like then, like it was a very emotional scene. Like it was very well written. Like it's this
it's
is
good.
It is a show that it was designed for kids, basically as a marketing ploy. But the writing in the show holds up.
Isn't this this is better than most movies. Come on, like I love this. If this was its own movie, like if this was released like next month, but it was just an hour and a half long version of this episode, I would buy it.
I think if it was released now, it would be very, very popular. I think that this kind of got buried in its time slot in the US at least, right? Because, like, I mean, this originally released on Saturday mornings, right? Like they did Saturday mornings.
Do you remember when it?
Like it was a Saturday morning cartoon that then got rolled into like the early morning wake up and get ready for school block, right, Candice?
Yeah,
down there, yeah.
For me, it was starting in the early mornings on the weekdays, Monday or Tuesday or something.
It?
Well, because like I did see occasionally Beast Wars early in the morning on a local Fox affiliate because we had Seattle's Fox station that we got up here at the time, and so they would show Beast Wars early in the morning. So that was another reason why as a child I was aware of the fact that it was Beasties in Canada and Beast Wars in the States, because I'm like, oh, on YTV in the evenings it's Beasties, but like on Fox Kids early in the morning it's Beast Wars. And it has a shorter, shittier intro.
Damn it.
Christopher and Candice are rivals on the intros. Christopher is absolutely resolute in his stance that the 60-second long Beasties intro is way more metal than the 30-second long Beast Wars intro.
Yeah. I do like that in season 2 and season 3 for Beast Wars that they didn't shorten the intro at all, so it's just the same intro.
Yeah, it's the season 1 that's really different.
Yeah. Yeah, they even use different shots in the Beast Wars, the season 1 Beast Wars intro. Like it's not only is it shortened, but they use a lot of different shots as well.
Huh.
Oh yeah, it's different shots, yeah.
Yeah. Look up listeners, look up the Beasties intro on YouTube. You can
Just
find
going-
you can find it. It is there, but it's like it's very low quality because it's something that someone clearly recorded on VHS and then transferred over. Like there's even like a YTV logo in it
Yeah.
in the one
But-
video that I saw.
So this touching moment here, one of them asks if they can save Dinobot, and he says, "Oh, like his internal, we wouldn't be able to make internal repairs in time."
Yeah, he's too far gone, even for Stasis Lock.
So Stasis Lock is kind of like a fail-safe to protect the spark where they fall unconscious, right, Christopher?
Yeah.
It's also a great podcast, I hear.
So I've heard.
That's the word on the street.
Nice segue there.
That's what I'm here for. Just to talk you up, Candice.
No.
All right, I'm out. Bye.
Okay, bye. So yeah,
Cal, you're just like, okay, bye.
um, so
just very like dismissive.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, that
Kelly, and Christopher, for the listeners, actually know me really well.
Yeah,
And probably first impressions, not great. That's probably my
of
weakness.
which direction? Of which direction? I made a great impression.
Oh, sorry.
I
meant of me.
don't make first.
I don't-
good first
I meant of me.
impressions.
But Kelly knows my sense of humor enough that, like, and we play off of each other. We've actually role played more than a bit in the past in a LARP.
Nice.
Multiple
Purple
LARPs.
binding ropes and everything.
Everything.
Yes,
Yeah.
good.
And in the height of our RP, we found that we can both completely straight face deadpan, like humor, off of each other. And it's been fun. It was fun.
It's been fun. It
like
hasn't
to do
been
that
fun in about a
again.
year. Yeah, it'd be nice once we can see each other, like inside of 10 feet again.
My hand is up on the glass on my computer screen right now, Kelly.
Ta-da-da. Oh,
Soon,
soon.
my dogs of war.
You are and shall always be my friend. Live long and prosper.
Just inject him with triple blood. God damn it.
God.
Did that work?
That's what they did in the remake.
Give him
Like
con
in-
juice.
They give him some con juice. Also, they're like, oh, we're not going to talk about that. I'm so heated about Into Darkness because they're like, oh, we can just cure death with like these guys, and we've got 70 of them. Just kick it around. We've got eternal life juice.
I have a friend who maintains that Into Darkness is the best Star Trek movie, like, period. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude?
That should be like
And I know
list.
he wouldn't
You
listen
slapped
to
him.
I know he wouldn't listen to a podcast of mine in a million years, so I don't I don't feel ashamed, like I don't feel concerned about saying that.
He's listening to this right now, and there's a tear running down his
a single tear. You don't have a friend. You have an enemy that you keep close to you who thinks that.
Cal, it's Paul that I'm talking about.
What?
Yeah.
He's dead to me. But he does like Flight of the Conchords, so.
Speaking of people being dead,
Oh, jeez.
Mhm.
Optimus
Oh, yeah,
is like
Oof.
Optimus is like, well fought, my friend. You
saved the valley.
You saved the valley. You saved the lives of everyone here and those who are still to come. And Dinobot's like, then there is nothing to regret.
Like I said, you're just a blasted slake spouting saurian, but it's nice to know where you stand.
As
And he holds his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
I
and
love
Dinobot's
that.
like-
I love it.
And then Dinobot's like downwind of you by preference. And it's so good. It's
Isn't
so,
it great?
And Rat Trap like initially like gasps for like a split second, and then he smiles, and I'm like that was tugging at my heartstrings.
Isn't this? Kelly said this twice, and I've said it twice. It's written so well.
It's eye lasers to give out those burns. Like, it's so good.
Like, Tell my tale to those who ask.
Well, it's very like that. Honestly, the way that this eulogy, like his little self monologue goes off there, like his little goodbye speech.
It's a reference to Hamlet.
Is it directly?
I looked this up. Yeah, his death monologue is inspired by the end of Hamlet.
Well, Christopher, you and I have talked that he's like literally quoted Shakespeare
Many times. Yeah.
Yeah, many times on the show. Directly, yeah. He's a fan of. That's why he saved the people. He's a Shakespeare fan, and like nothing else. He didn't do this for like the Maximals.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
did
if
this
humanity-
for the
if humanity-
bard.
If humanity dies, then there's no William Shakespeare for him to quote all the time.
Name-
as he is in beast mode, like looking up longingly at the moonlight.
One
Yeah.
day, name the human's greatest playwright after me, William Shakespeare Dinobot.
And they're like,
Dinobot for short.
can you imagine?
William Shakespeare Dinobot.
There's no butterfly effect except William Shakespeare's actual name is William Shakespeare Dinobot.
It's true. It's true.
Everything
And,
else is exactly the same. Dinobot saved the future.
It's true.
Cats exist because of him.
Oh.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, so what he says is, tell my tale to those who ask, the ill deeds along with the good, and let me be judged accordingly. The rest is silence.
I love that. I love that so much. That's like, honestly, that has a real Conan vibe to it right there. The whole like, just, tell my story and let me be judged. And you know what? That's it. That's it. I don't care. Just give them the facts. I am what I am, type of thing. It's so cool.
Yeah. And indeed, his eyes fade to black and he dies.
Yeah, and Rat Trap like grabs his hand and like holds it against his forehead, and I'm like, oh my god.
Right?
It's, like ripping me apart inside.
And
No, I was like, I first watched this episode like maybe, or not first, because for the first time in like 20 plus years, I watched this like maybe a week and a half ago. I've watched this episode like 4 times over the course of the past like week or so, and like I was bawling my eyes out.
well, like, Candice, did you kind of reject that Dinobot actually died? Because that's like, do you remember how you reacted to this as a kid? Because adult me, like, I only watched this for the first time recently. Adult me was like, no, they'll bring him back, just like Optimus, right?
No, this is Transformers. People die in Transformers.
You remember your reaction, Candice?
I'm trying to. I did not cry. I feel like somehow I knew it was going to happen. I don't know if there were spoilers on the internet by then. For some reason, I just like I sat there and I know Rat Trap was my favorite character, so Dinobot was my sister's, and I didn't want to say anything. I feel like I knew something about this, but she was watching, and I can't remember if she cried or not. Dinobot was her man.
Does
Can't
anyone? I
remember.
don't know. Maybe not Kelly, but maybe Candice and Christopher. I've been watching it weekly with Christopher, right? But you're familiar with all of season 1, 2, and 3, Candice. It's heavily alluding that he desires some sort of like Viking death or some samurai death, like death in service or death in war. Very
Yeah.
clearly, right? Like he alludes to his own death quite often. And indeed, in Beast Wars Part 1 and 2, the first 2 episodes of Season 1, like, everything is a battle to the death with him.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Like, he's just, like, itching for a way to die valiantly. But,
he's a high stakes player.
But this, if anything's worth it, it's, man, like, this is it. He did it.
I was kind of pissed because I still wanted the interactions between him and Rat Trap, and
I
like, oh no,
know.
they're gone now. It's just this is gonna suck. But he
Yeah.
also went out with a bang, and that was kind of really like you
What a
can't
bang.
do it any better than this. For
I wish he
death,
killed at least one or two Preds. Like Quick Strike, just gone. He just dead. That's all I ask. Quick Strike and
gone,
Tarantulas.
please.
Please.
I beg you.
There's some spirituality in the episode here because Dinobot's spark actually like floats into the air. And
no, I tell him every time, guys, grab it. What are you doing?
grab it. Well, it floats off into the air and like out into space. Rat Trap's the first one to salute, and all of the Maximals do.
Damn right.
God damn it.
Yeah, and Optimus Primal is like he lived a warrior and he died a hero.
Let his spark join the Matrix, the greatest of Cybertron. So, like, even though he was born and lived as a Predacon, like his spark has earned its place in the Matrix,
Right.
which I think is pretty cool.
That is really cool.
Very deep.
And as the sunrise scene as the episode ends, Mike, go ahead, somebody else take it away. The Viking funeral they give him at sunrise.
I just couldn't handle it though, because the flying board, like the flying, the surfboard.
Oh, you're not used to it yet.
I'm not used to it, so I just looked up and I was like, "Is that a fucking surfboard?" Because I was so invested, I'm like crying and like I've got like tears in my eyes, and I'm like, "Oh, it's a hero's death. Is that a fucking surfboard?"
See, I've had 8 episodes before this, leading up to this to get over it.
So the 3 Maximal flyers, Optimus Primal, Cheetor, and Silverbolt, do a flyover as some heroic music is playing, and Dinobot's corpse is suspended in the air on this like tripod thing and is like vaporized essentially. But what I want to point out in this scene is if you look over in the bottom left-hand corner, you see season 1 Rat Trap.
Oh,
and Rhinox chilling out.
Always distracts me.
Season 1 Rat Trap. What
Yeah.
the heck?
Yes.
What?
Yep.
Wait, hold on.
He's Transmetal. He's season 1.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Pre-Transmetal Rat Trap. And I'm like, so there's this very like touching scene. And like
Christopher, you ruined it for me.
How did any number of people who worked on this show miss that?
Maybe he reverted. Maybe he reverted to his original form. Just
As a
for
sign
his
of
funeral.
Respect?
As a sign of his respect, yeah.
I wanted to put on something old, you know, like something.
Hey, I wanted to wear my best suit for the occasion.
You know, something that reminds me of what it was like when we were together. Because there's fic of them, obviously.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I know.
Well, if there isn't, I'm sure Candice will be drawing it soon.
Yes.
Well,
Yes,
see,
good.
Candice and I draw different things. She draws like really badass, like shaded, realistic, like humorous and like epic drawings. And I do fan fiction of hexadecimal that I may or may not post online. So maybe I'll have to do Dinobot and Rat Trap embracing each other one day.
Do it.
Well,
Do it.
Candice wants me to do it, and Kelly does, and Christopher says it's all right. Then
Don't show me afterwards.
Christopher
But
says it's all right.
show me.
I don't need to see it, but I support your right to do it.
In this case, tell, don't show.
What happens between a rat and a raptor is their own business, really. Like
That's true. What happens behind closed Axelon doors stays behind closed Axelon doors.
Especially in Proto Vegas.
Proto Vegas. Well,
What happens
speaking
in
of
the CR
Proto
chamber stays in the CR chamber.
Yeah. That reminds me of the end of Fifth Element. Anyways, speaking of the end, we are on the very end scene of this episode where it shows at least one of the humans, proto-humans, have survived. Anthropoid. And he picks up presumably it's the one that was in like the energy bindings. Because he picks up the improvised weapon that Dinobot had. The stick stone hammer. Stormbringer, let's just call it that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's the proper name.
He gets all excited when he smashes open a coconut. Like he just discovered fire, although he's probably a few thousand years from that. And again, we see that predatory snake, probably the same one. Predatory snake. Name a snake that's not predatory, And it goes to strike him.
Also, I would like to point out that this Neanderthal is very clearly voiced by Gary Chalk.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Sorry.
No?
No, I'm just kidding.
By me.
Because it's so obvious.
Yeah, it is so obvious.
Yeah.
It's,
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this snake has eyebrows. There's spikes. Sorry, there's spikes. I just realized there's spikes.
Eyebrow spikes.
He yells like Gary Chalk only can and kills the fucking snake with Stormbringer.
Don't. And that's the legend of Thor.
Yeah, and he raises it into the air and is all like, yeah. And
the camera shows the stars in the sky, and a single star twinkles.
That's Dinobot.
It is Dinobot.
And every time you kill a predator, Dinobot gets his wings.
I love that.
Jesus.
Every time you strangle a cheat like a fucking cougar or something. Cheetah.
Every time you strangle a cheetah.
Every time you step on a rat.
Every time you step on a rat, or at least lower its self-esteem, Dinobot gets his wings.
Dinobot gets his drill rapier. Cheers.
God, he's got so many of those. I don't even know what to do with these.
He's just got a closet full of identical swords.
I've just got so many of them.
All right. Well, it is almost time for us to go. So, before we do our little outro and say goodbye, what's your overall thoughts on the masterpiece that is Code of Hero?
Yeah, so here on Too Much Energon, we grade episodes on what we call the Too Much Energon scale, which ranges anything from not enough Energon, which is, anything from like the worst episode ever to an episode that's not that great. Or sufficient amount of Energon, which is an episode that's alright, to, pretty good. To 2. And the third and final rating is Too Much Energon, which is anything from, wow, that episode was really cool, to literally the best episode ever. Let's start with Kelly. What do you rate?
Too much Energon. It's got too much Energon. It's got way too much.
Energy.
It's peak too much Energon.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any final thoughts you want to share about the episode?
Honestly, I remember really liking the show and the quality of thought that went into it when I was a kid, right? Like, it definitely didn't talk down to us, in spite of its, rather, it's somewhat, repetitive story of the week type of stuff. It still had that really, really highbrow type of backing to it. And even knowing that going into this episode, I was really blown away by the level of writing, particularly in Dinobot's like soliloquies and like his internal thought process. He's a very well fleshed out character. And to see him go out like this was really meaningful. Actually made me sad that I hadn't pre-watched the show to get even more of an emotional reaction out of it.
You should be sad about that.
I am sad about it.
Because this show is great.
It is great.
Candice, what do you rate the episode?
Too Much Energon and everything above and beyond. It's amazing.
I'm sensing a pattern here. Do you have any final thoughts about it?
I love it. Hate it. You laugh, you cry. It's so good. It's a really good episode. I don't know what else to say. It's amazing. I miss Dinobot.
I miss him already.
Yeah, and it isn't even next week yet, and we already missed Dinobot. Cal, what do you give the episode?
It's definitely too much energon for me. It's by like a large margin my favorite Beast Wars episode. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
There's nothing else I can add that to that. It's got everything. This could have been like a 3.5 hour podcast where we just talk about Dinobot in general and the episode, but it's my favorite. So the episodes only get better from here on out, I assume. Right?
There are some good episodes coming.
Oh, okay.
Like the 3-part finale to season 2 that's coming up in a couple weeks here is some of the best Beast Wars. Yeah, some of the best Beast Wars has to offer. I am also giving this episode a highest of high too much energon. The dialogue in the episode is great. I really love the music. The emotional beats are very strong without being cheap. Like all of the stuff that actually made me weepy at the end, like felt very earned and genuine. The only thing complaint that I have about this episode is I wish it was a 2-parter. I would have liked to have seen this story stretched out over a couple of episodes and have
instead of the Fusors being 2 episodes.
Exactly. Like I would have liked to have seen an entire episode dedicated to Dinobot's fight in the valley.
Stretch out the dialogue between him and Megatron and
Yeah. Yeah, like it end the first part with him with his whole speech of like for I am a warrior, let the battle be joined.
It's great.
And then
Can't believe they fit it in half an hour.
Yeah.
No.
Sorry,
Yeah,
22 minutes.
Yeah, I wish it had been a multi-part episode.
So it's unanimous.
Yeah, a unanimous too much energon. So that has been episode 9 of season 2, Code of Hero. We will be back next week with the 10th episode of season 2, Transmutate, which is another highly regarded episode of the show. And this is one that I have not revisited at all since I originally watched it like 24 years ago. So we'll see how I feel about it now, because I wasn't a fan of it when I was 13. I'll get into why next week.
So before we go, I'm gonna touch on our guests here. Candice. Sorry, touch on what they do.
Thank you.
But I mean, also, or touch on, whichever. Touch off. Candice. Anybody listening, where can they find you and see what the mysterious Candice is up to?
Mysterious. I'm kind of an open book. I'm not really mysterious. Well, I am on the Stasis Lock Podcast that we do every week. It's live, so if bombs are dropping, they're dropping here and there and everywhere. We have a lot of fun on there. We talk about a lot of Beast Wars stuff, news and toys and things coming out and comics, and we have guests once in a while. And you can also find me on Facebook, Canned Ice Art. Got my art crap on there. You can find me on Instagram at candice.santora. I'm on Twitter at Candice Santora. You're probably getting a pattern here. I'm also on YouTube, Candice Santora. But the only videos I upload are the ones I have deemed primal parodies that I do with Gary Chalk. And I also have a Facebook page now for primal parodies, and that's where you can find that. So
so I saw
That's probably a lot.
you convinced Gary Chalk to do an Irish accent for St. Patrick's Day, and it was one of the best things I've ever seen.
Oh, I'm so glad. I was so indecisive about doing that at all.
I haven't had a chance to watch that one yet, so
10 out of 10.
I think I might check it out after this episode's done.
And Mr. Kelly Clark of Dorktales fame.
So if you like storytelling at all, or just any type of stories or fiction, you can go ahead and follow me and the Dorktales team over at twitch.tv/Dorktales or on YouTube at youtube.com/Dorktales. We also have a podcast that's available through most places. I'm not sure if we're finally on Apple Podcasts because that, I don't know, I've had trouble setting it up with Apple for some reason. But if you use like anything else, like even Spotify, you can find us on Dorktales. And you can find me over on Twitter if you want to follow my account. That's Real Kelly Clark and Dork_Tales, because if you can believe it, Dorktales is already taken in like Twitter, and that's like the only place.
Boo.
Boo, I know, right? But yeah, you should check us out. We're a lot of fun. And if you're ever looking to try out role-playing games or anything, we're a good jumping off point, besides just pretty fun people. And I've even had these two nerds on for a fantastic little charity episode a few weeks ago.
It's true, listeners. Christopher and I played some D&D. I may have gone a little overboard and painted my face green.
It was so good.
I played a very proper and upper crust bard orc.
A bork.
A bork,
Nice.
if you will. And it was fun.
It was actually that stream that prompted me to buy a new webcam. Because my video is terrible in that
You look so crisp.
Yeah.
right now.
So crisp.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I bought like a $200 webcam yesterday.
Oh, beautiful.
I actually for the listeners, some special. I was kind of wanting to maybe do it tonight, but it just didn't really work out. But for some special episodes of our podcast, this and our reboot podcast, Alphanumeric, we might be switching to a video/audio format here and there. It's the thing we're going to experiment with in the coming weeks, so keep an eye out for that. If you want to support the show, go to our website, www.toomuchenergon.ca. Check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/toomuchenergon. We also have a TeePublic store where you can buy t-shirts, which, amazingly enough, quite a few people have at this point. Go to teepublic.com/2-much-energon, and you can find t-shirts for this show, as well as our other podcast, which I just mentioned, Alphanumeric, the reboot podcast. If you want to get in touch with us, send us an email at toomuchenergon@outlook.com. You can follow me on Instagram at Christopher Siege, on Twitter at toomuchenergon, or at Lasercomb. And yeah,
I think on that note, it's
We
time
are-
for us to say goodnight.
yeah, we are running out of time here. So I have been one of your hosts, Christopher Siege.
And I'm your other usual host, NeoCal.
And
And
a word
yeah.
from our guests.
yeah,
Kelly Clark, thank you so much for having me on. It's been a pleasure just going through these old episodes with you and having fun. And I'd love to do this in the future.
I'd love to. And Candice, thank you for coming as well.
Oh, thanks for inviting me back, guys. Always a pleasure. Always fun.
Yeah,
These are
we'll
great.
we'll,
Thank you
we'll
so
definitely
much.
have both. Thanks to both of you for being here. We'll definitely consider this an open invitation for either of you to come on the show again. Just hit either me or Cal up.
Well, thank you.
Nice.
Yeah. So until next week, beast mode.
Beast mode!
Dorktales are Dorker Eyes!